in it. How many song titles have the word baby in it? I bet a lot. Let's do it. Hello everyone, we're back for another tutorial, and today's lesson is When She Says Baby. It was probably released a few seconds ago, and it's already a classic, so learn it. It's a good song. And this was brought in by one of my students, Kyle, and I'm gonna work you through this, and I'm gonna do a couple little play-alongs with it. So grab your guitar, or you're gonna play with me. I'm gonna go through some of the main themes of this song, and I'm gonna also show you a couple of the extra little guitar parts that you can play that are there that you can probably need to learn, and if you want to play the exact parts. But like I said, I'm gonna give you the simple parts. So let's get into it. So first off, I want to tell you that this song is in the key of A minor. So if you're inclined, I'm not going to cover the solo, but if you're inclined to check out some of the solo, what he's doing is he's pretty much playing in this A minor pentatonic box position. So if you're getting kind of new or just learning how to solo, what you can do is practice your A minor pentatonic scale against the song. So just have some fun with it, because he's basically just playing all the notes in that position right there. So do a little research on the A minor pentatonic. I don't want to cover it in this lesson, but just so you know, that's what that little lead part in the beginning is, pretty much staying true to that particular scale. So let me get into the chords in this first section of the song. So we have A minor, just a simple straight up A minor, just like that, and then it's going to go to a G chord. So the G I'm using for this beginning part is just a standard kind of G chord, but it may be a little bit different than maybe you've seen, which is this. I'm muting this string right here. I'm not even going to use my first finger. And the reason why is because when I'm using this kind of sound on electric guitar, this distorted sound, I don't like to play that full G, and I got this chord shape from a lot of different guitar players. One in particular would be Angus Young from AC/DC. He seems to play this one a lot. And a lot of the AC/DC songs, you're going to find that chord. And what it is again, we're muting this fifth string here. Don't even need this first finger. And I'm muting it with my second finger. I'm also muting this bottom string with this finger right here. That's kind of the meaty part of that finger. And I'm just lightly touching that string and reaching over to grab that third fret right there, but still muting that string, and like I said, that first string. Third finger's coming in on the third fret like this. So if I'm muting those strings, I can actually get away with just strumming all 6 strings, and the only notes that are ringing out are the ones that I want based off the mute. Next chord is going to be an F chord. I'm going to be playing a power chord for this beginning part, but if you want to play more what's in the song, it's actually an F sus2. And what an F sus2 is, it's kind of like an F bar chord, but what we're doing, instead of barring, we're actually just playing with our first finger here on the first fret. I'm muting this bottom string with this first finger. The little part of the finger right here is lightly touching that bottom string, but I still get this note to come out here. But I gotta be careful. I want this third string to be open. That's what makes it a sus2 chord. And then I have my third finger and fourth finger on the third fret on the fifth string and the fourth string. And I'm basically playing the middle 4 strings. If that chord is hard for you, do what I was doing before, which is just play the F bar chord. All right, so what's happening is the first 2 chords are 2 beats each, so it's going to be just on a real simple level. It's going to sound like this: 1, 2 to the G chord, 3, 4, and then that F chord, whichever one you choose, is going to be for 4 beats. I'll start with the power chord F version. 2, 3, 4. And I'm not barring for that power chord. If you're not familiar with power chords, it's just my first finger is pushing down this first fret, and my third and fourth finger are now on these the next 2 strings down, just like that. I am lightly touching these other strings to mute them. And that cleans up that chord. It also allows me to hit more strings than I need to in my right hand and so I don't have to be so precise. So work on getting that mute on these bottom strings here, but make sure that top string does ring out. So here's a good thing to check, is just pluck the strings, just like that. Now we're going to get into the other shape too, using the for this intro part, but start with the power chord first, and then we'll get into that other chord. All right, here we go. We're going to do A minor. I want you to play along with me, okay? Can't be just sitting back eating popcorn. This is not entertainment. This is work. All right, so here we go. We're going to go like this. We're going to go A minor, 2 beats, G2, and then F is going to be 4. It's going to sound like this. I'll count us in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Couple more times, guys. 4 and 1, 2. Now, if I'm playing the song, I'd probably be a little bit more aggressive because of the beginning. It's more like... All right, so just so you know, you want to kind of really get into it. Sometimes I see students, they kind of hesitate on hitting that guitar, and sometimes you gotta, for rock and roll, you gotta hit it a little bit harder than you would a nice ballad. So now let's get into the anticipation in this beginning. I simplified that rhythm, but now let's do what the actual rhythm in the song is. And the anticipation is what it is it's a chord that's happening a little bit earlier than what you would expect. So that last chord F in that progression, we were just beginning it on the second measure, and it was right on beat 1. But now what we're going to do is we're going to play it on the and on the and of the previous measure. So let me show you. It's probably easier to demonstrate than explain. So here we go. It's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Hopefully that makes sense. So play along with me, and I'm going to count along so you can hear the count, and so you can and hear the guitar. So here we go. Okay, I'll do another count in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2. Couple more times, guys. 4 and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4. Last time. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4. So now let's try to replace that last chord with the F sus2. It's gonna sound cool. Here we go. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Now you probably notice I started adding some more things in there, but I did that on purpose because I wanted to demonstrate that the rhythm, the chords are still changing at the same place. I was just filling in more rhythm subdivisions in between the chord changes. But again, the chords are still changing at the same location rhythm-wise. All right, so the last time they play the intro, they play this little accent on the and of 3 and 4 and. Let me play it for you. It sounds like this. This will be the last time going into the verse, so it's going to sound like this. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and that's and 4 and. Let me do that one more time. See if you can play along with me. 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, 1. I'll count us in this time. 3, 4 and 2, 3, 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just like that. So get that timing down. Now we get into the verse part. The verse is going to be all muted with our palm over here. So I'm basically lightly touching the strings. Work on getting that nice kind of muted effect. So you can play around with the amount of pressure that you have. You can see my fingers are kind of like here, either resting or they're going to be slightly kind of in that area. So in case they need to kind of gauge something, that right there. It's a good place to be in. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do now more power chords for this. So we're going to, with the exception of the first chord, we're still going to be in the A minor shape, but I'm really only playing like the 5th and the 4th and then maybe the 3rd string, which is really the same thing as playing the power chord up here, which you can do. You can do either one. The reason why I'm doing this one down here is because the last chord is F, and it's just a simple transition for me to get back to this. But you could keep them all the same, like this. Then you gotta go, you have to climb and make sure that you're climbing right back up here. Both things are right. Just choose which one's gonna be easier for you. I'm gonna stick with this one here. So it's gonna go just like how I played it. So I'm gonna go nice and slow. So we have the A, we have the G power chord, 3rd fret, 5th fret, and 5th fret again. If the 3-finger power chord is tough for you, then just play it with 2 fingers, but then you have more strings you have to mute so they don't accidentally ring. I'm muting with my 1st finger here, the line across the bottom. So work on that mute with that 1st finger here. So here we go. I'm going to count us in. The rhythm is going to be a constant 8th note kind of mute, so it's going to see like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just like that. I'm going to take a little bit slower and you're going to play along with me. All right, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Couple more times, guys. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add this cool little accent in there, which sounds like this. And that's that F sus2. Remember, it's 3, 3, 0 on the 3rd string and 1st finger on the 1st fret. I'm not hitting that bottom, or I'm not hitting, I may be hitting that bottom string, but I have it muted. I even use my thumb sometimes to mute this top string here. But don't push too hard. You don't want to accidentally get that in there, so be careful. All right, so here we go. We're going to add this accent. It's tricky. Let me play it first, and I'll count along with what I'm playing so you can hear where that accent's coming in. It's going to be coming in on the and of 3 and and of 4, and it's tricky because the last accent, you have to go right back into that A minor shape here, so it's going to sound like this. Here we go. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. So now I'm going to do it again. I'm going to maybe slow it down just a little bit so you guys can play along with me. So hopefully you understand where that accent is coming in. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so that's that section right there. So the last time they go, right before they go into the chorus, they're going to hold that chord. So they go like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you want to hold that for 4 counts, and then they're going to come into the chorus. We don't need to practice that. You can probably pick that up. So here's the chorus. The chorus is kind of like the intro, with a few little exceptions to it. It's going to sound like this. We're going to do the same thing as we did before. Just like in the intro, I'm adding some more of that subdivision or the 8th note beat to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and. So that what I've noticed is, like, on the second time through the chorus, he actually jumps up to a little G chord, and he only does it the second time. So here's what the second time through would sound like. The rest goes back to the normal thing. So just kind of FYI on that, okay? So here it is from the beginning. I'll do the 2 times, the 2 different kind of versions of it. First time through this progression, and this progression repeats a total of 4 times for the chorus. So we go like this. The first time through sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. And I sometimes would probably play that G, like that AC/DC G, like that. So we'll go like this. I'll substitute that one in this time. Here we go. First time through, first section for first part of the chorus, and then with that little change. Here we go. Right? You can use this G for the whole time, but change it up a little bit. You got the power chord in there as well. Now there's a second part in there that's going like this. It's kind of cool. And so that's that F sus2. And here's this part. Hammer onto the first fret, open string, and then the first string, 3rd fret, just like that. Then he does his pull off into the chord. I'll do that real slow. One more time. So it sounds like this, if more in tempo. So try that little part out. It's kind of a cool little part to play in this song. So the last time through, so he does it, repeats 4 times, but then what he does to get back into this little interlude part, he plays a G chord. So let me show you how that would work. So this is the last time through. Just 4 beats on that G, and then we go back into that interlude part, which is the same as the intro. All right. Okay, so let's get into the bridge part. So the next verse, actually, before we get into the bridge, the next verse has a cool little part like this. Let me show you. Everything else is pretty much the same. They don't do that accent. It's replaced by this little part that goes. So what that is, goes like this. I'm playing it here. There's a few places to play it. Sounds like he's doing in this area right here. It's I got my second finger on the 5th fret, 4th string, and my first finger on the 4th. Did I say 2nd fret? So here's what I have. I have my second finger here on the 5th string, 4th. I haven't had my coffee. 5th fret, 4th string. There we go. Good job, Chris. Way to go. There we go, right there. And then the first finger is going to be on the 4th fret, 3rd string. And I kind of almost hit them together, and I'm using this mute effect. It sounds like sometimes he hits both of them, but you can try both. But the sound should be this. Well, regardless if you hit both, you want to get this little theme out, which is. And what that is I'm just adding this finger here to the 5th. Just like that. I may keep, and I'm going to keep these fingers down because it repeats. It goes back to that one. 4th finger on the 7th fret, down to the, with the 2nd finger down to the 5th fret, back up to the 7th fret. So we get this. Boo-da-bee-da-ba-doo-bop. So try it with me real slow. I'll repeat that again. Now the second part of that, so that's just the first phrase. The second phrase goes like this. It basically does the same thing, except we go da 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 da. And you could even get, I kind of add that in there, which is hitting both these strings. Okay, and then we go back to this first phrase that we did. Whoops. Then it goes like this. And we go this part here. And I'm just hitting the 3rd fret, bardic, bottom 2 strings, to here. So it's like, it sounds like this. The last part, and this is getting into the chorus again. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let me play you the whole thing. It's going to sound like this. Then we go right back into the chorus, just like we played before. Now let me do the bridge. Sounds like this. It's going to be, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can start on the F chord down here. The 3 chords are going to be F to a C, G. All right, so the easy version would be kind of playing these power chords down here like this. 2, so we have that same anticipation on the and of 4. This time it's with the G chord. 1 and 2, 3. We actually have 2 anticipation. We have the anticipation going into the C and the G. So we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. A different version, which is more kind of what I'm hearing on the album, it sounds like this. I'm actually going to use we're up here at the 8th fret and the 10th fret, and I'm using my 4th finger instead, and you're going to see why, because I'm just going to move my finger over. And then I just go to a G power chord, which is 10, 12, 12. 10, 12, 12. You don't have to. If you want to keep the same fingering, just slide that up and use the 2 fingers, that's fine as well. So we have same rhythm again. Move that, just the first finger over to that. So here we go. Let me slow that down so you can play along. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... All right. So the last little melody part in here, and this will pretty much do it as we get there. When it goes back into the verse again, there's this cool little part, which is a version of what we already did. I think he uses a tremolo effect on his guitar, so just FYI. Then he does the same thing an octave higher. Just like that. The octave higher is on the 12, 13, and then the 15. And that's the 12 and 13 are on the 2nd string. The 15's on the 1st string. Nice and easy. You can use your 3rd. You probably saw me use my 4th. I just kind of do it. I don't know. I guess a habit. You can use your 3rd finger there. Same thing up here. I think I like using my 4. It's a little more in line with the frets. Okay, that's the song, and that's pretty much covers most of it. There may be a few little bits and pieces that I didn't cover, but check out what I showed you. Start with that, and then you can kind of use your ears to figure out more, or kind of find some other tabs out there that maybe have a little bit more detail. But what I showed you is pretty darn close. It's the most of what's kind of coming through in the song. So anyway, enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.